Hey, it's Marissa, or Saw for short. I'm the crocheter behind Damsel Design Co. And today I have a super fun video planned out for you. We are going to be looking at 6 unique yarns you have to try. I went ahead and purchased these ahead of time, and so I'm gonna give you a little rundown on the yarns. We're gonna do some swatches, and then I'm gonna share some fun project ideas. So this video is perfect if you're in a crochet rut or you need to change it up. So I'm hoping this video gives you a little inspiration for summer. I thought it would be fun to start off slow and work our way up to the most unique yarns. And I also have my iPad here with notes and then the project photos that I want to show you, but I'll pop those up here for you to see. So let's get started. First yarn we have up is Big Twist t-shirt yarn, and this is the color Lavender Aura. I know t-shirt yarn might not be new to some, but it's new to me. It's the first time I've seen this in big box stores. I picked this up at Joann's and it retails for $12.99, but I got it on sale, so of course I got 2 so I can make a full project. This yarn is 100% recycled polyester, and it's a size 6 super bulky yarn, and you get about 120 meters in each skein. I don't know if you can call this a skein, but whatever this is. So the reason I chose this yarn first is because it's definitely different from other types of yarns that I've used before. And I think it's a really good like intro beginner unique yarn. Projects will work up super quick with this since it's a really bulky yarn. So the first project idea I have, I'll pop it up here, is this blue bag. And I've seen so many bags done with t-shirt yarn, but with the charms, I think it makes it super unique. You could theme your charms, like ocean themed if you had blue yarn, or maybe all gold charms. I think this could be a really cute, fun project, and you could get everything at Joann's or Michael's. And the next project I have in mind are these cute stacking baskets. I love how they used multi-color yarn and they switched it up. It could be really cute if you held 2 strings of t-shirt yarn together. And I think it makes really convenient like accessory holders or maybe even a crochet hook holder. This will work up a really sturdy project, so I think these baskets would be perfect. Now, this baby, she is so unique. I've seen overdone t-shirt yarn projects, I've seen overdone bookcase covers, but this bookcase cover is so unique. The little tiny granny squares will work up in like less than 5 minutes, sew them all up together, and you've got a cute, bright book cover. I love it, and it's definitely different than all of the other t-shirt yarn projects I've seen so far. And for those who are looking for a quick project, I thought this cup holder and AirPod case is a really cute project idea. These will work up so fast. You would need like less than an hour to make both. And they seem pretty simple as long as you can kind of figure out the shape of your cup that you want to use, or you have your AirPod case handy. These projects are perfect for a quick fix. And last but not least, we have this phone holder. As a girl, a lot of our stuff doesn't have pockets, and sometimes I hate just holding my phone. So I think this phone holder is perfect for like hot girl walks, or if you're just going out quickly and you don't need to bring a full-on purse, if you like to travel light. So this phone holder would be a perfect quick project as well. Working with this yarn was a dream. It was slightly stretchier than I anticipated, but it glides really smoothly against my metal crochet hook. I really liked working with this yarn, and I will definitely be making a project with it soon. It's hard for me to imagine working with 2 strands of this t-shirt yarn. I would need a really big crochet hook, And I can see why people like this material for beach bags, but double layering it I think would be tough to work with. And here's the final gauge swatch. You can see some stretch in the stitches, but I think it's still really sturdy. The stitches worked up really nicely and they're well defined, and overall I loved working with this yarn. The next yarn we have is Bamboo Bloom Hand Paints. This is from Universal Yarn, and look how pretty this yarn is. It's more on the traditional yarn side, but it's unique in the fact that it has these like woolly roving bits, and the yarn is a bit uneven, which I like. It can give a project a lot of texture. So let me give you the details on these. This retails for $13.99 and you get 154 yards. It is 44% wool, 48% rayon from bamboo, and 8% acrylic. I love this yarn. It has all of these shiny bits. There's so much sheen, and then the more woolly bits are matte. So there's texture, there's bright color. Oh, and this is in the colorway Dragon. So nice. It's really soft and it's perfect for garments that will be close to your body. And speaking of that, I have my off the shoulder top. I'll give you a little close up. You may have seen this before. I've showed it in my videos before, but look at the lovely texture the woolly bits give it and the sheen of the yarn from that bamboo. It's just gorgeous. So this top I used, it's Erin B's tutorial of her crochet off the shoulder top. I'll drop the link to the tutorial in the description of this video so you can make your own top too. I used about 2 skeins of the bamboo hand paints for my top, but of course adjust for your size. I'm about a size medium, and I remember I didn't completely finish the second skein, but it is cropped. These are really high-waisted pants, but it works for me. I also like that you can pull up the shoulders and it looks more like a regular tank top with like a scoop neck, but I love this layered look today with the velvet bralette. So that's my first project idea for bamboo hand paints. So the first project I'll pop up here is this cute little tiny handbag, and it's one of those like knotted handbags where you pull the long one through the short one, and it's like a little knot bag here. It's tiny. And what I love about this project is that it only needs 1 skein, so you don't have to break the bank trying to make this bag. You just need your $13.99 and you should be good to go. And also with the smaller handbag, you can't put too much inside, so you're not gonna get that stretch that you get when you make really big handbags and like using the wrong material like bamboo. I always like to use cotton for my handbags or like crochet bags to keep it sturdy. And I think it could be a good idea, like if you wanted to hold this with cotton yarn and make a handbag, it could be a really good accent to the cotton yarn. The next project that I found and liked here is this shawl. I believe this shawl is knit, but you could recreate something with crochet stitches as well, or even Tunisian crochet. It's really comfy. I love the material, and I think being wrapped up in a shawl of it would be really nice since it has those woolly bits. And lastly, we have this sweater. I believe they only use the bloom at the top portion of the sweater, but I thought it was really nice to mix in normal or traditional yarn with bloom because it would really highlight the bloom yarns. Your eye would catch on the bloom yarn while you don't have to break the bank and spend a whole bunch making a sweater completely out of this yarn. So mixing this with typical yarn would be a really nice project as well. I love working with the bamboo hand paint yarn, It is so smooth, every single bit of it. The silk parts, the wool parts, it blends so nicely. In this small swatch, you can already see all of the color changes. I'm using a larger crochet hook here to make sure that we can incorporate the large bits into the project. So you want to size up your crochet hook so that it will be able to grab the woolly bits. And here is the final swatch. I used half double crochets and you can see how dynamic this yarn is. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors already. Just imagine how your final piece will blossom into a beautiful finished product. The next yarn on our list is a ribbon type yarn. It is the hand woven silk sari ribbon yarn from Darn Good Yarns. Oh, they're just gorgeous. There's so many unique colors. So let me tell you a little bit about this yarn. This is the colorway Malibu, and these actually don't come with any dye lot numbers. These are one of a kind, and so they're just absolutely unique. No one is getting the same skein as you. And it is a 1-ply super bulky yarn, and you get about 43 yards. So you don't get much with this, but that's okay because it's completely unique. One skein will run you $19, and I know that is pricey for the size of this yarn, but with Darn Good Yarns like Mission, you know that this is completely eco-friendly, and the people who made this were paid fair wages. So to me, it was worth it. And honestly, when I was looking for ribbon yarn, I went to Amazon and it was pretty pricey on there too. I know people have gotten ribbon yarn like on Temu, but I just wasn't finding what I wanted. And so I felt a lot better about purchasing this yarn, but I understand that like $19 per skein, it's not a realistic price for everyone. So I went with 2 skeins, and I know the project I'm gonna make is gonna be really special. So the projects I have in mind for this yarn, it has varying textures, different colors, different widths, but I think with like this no stretch type of ribbon project, you're gonna wanna go for those handbags, belt bags. So I will show you the first project I have in mind right here is this belt bag. I think it's super unique. We've all seen ribbon purses by now, like those satin ribbon purses. No hate, but I like to be different. So I think this belt bag, I believe the pattern is on a Hobie. If I find the pattern, I will drop it in the description. But it's super unique. Belt bags are so in right now. I have like 3 different kinds. So I think this belt bag is definitely on the top of my to make list. Another project I had in mind, not for this one, I definitely want to make a bag with it, but I think it could be nice to make a table runner. And if you use an open mesh stitch, it could go a long way, and you would get to showcase the beautiful yarn in your table runner. It's just so nice. I wanted to show it off, and I thought it could be really nice showcased across a dining room table or a media table. Yeah. I wanted to quickly show you these like really cute bits. It's not focusing, but they have like little golden arrows on them, and I'm finding it throughout this colorway, and I'm so excited to use this yarn. The next project I wanted to show you is the circular bag. I think I would get a lot of use out of a circular handbag, so I think that's the project I'm going to make. Starting off the ribbon gauge swatch, I realized quickly that this yarn has 0 stretch. So I needed to give a lot of room in each chain, knowing I was gonna go back into the foundation chain. But as soon as I got the hang of it, it started to feel a lot smoother. The yarn is actually a little rough on the hands, which I was not quite expecting, and the pieces are a bit uneven, but that's what you get when you buy such a unique yarn. Knowing I'm going to make a handbag with this yarn, I'm totally okay with it not having any stretch. I know the bag is going to be safe and secure, but I just have to have a little more patience as I am working up the bag. And here is the finished gauge swatch. I use single crochets, and you can tell just how vibrant this yarn is. I'm loving how it's working up, and despite it being a little bit difficult to work with in the beginning, it is no problem so that I can get this beautiful outcome. We're halfway through and we're starting to get into our funkier yarn. So up next is this banana fiber yarn. Look at this texture and this color. It is gorgeous. This is the colorway Kaleidoscope. This is 3 different skeins that I got here. I will be making up a super cute project with this. This yarn is so stringy and like it feels really dense, but when you squish it, it feels soft. Like there's some squish to it, surprisingly. I guess you could call it a halo, maybe, but there's so many like bits that are just coming off, and I think it gives it a really cute boho look. It's so vibrant. I am in love with this yarn. It's soft and strong. So let me tell you a little bit about it. I'm gonna be reading from my iPad because I have my notes there and I don't want to miss anything. So it's considered a weight 4 worsted weight yarn, and each skein is about 100 grams and you get 30 yards. And I also want to let you know a little bit about how the banana fiber is made. So this is a completely vegan and eco-friendly yarn, and the way they get it so soft is after harvesting the banana fibers, they are put through a softening process. So when it's processed, it feels something reminiscent to silk if you've worked with silk fibers before. These are hand spun, they're full of texture, biodegradable, so I wonder what that means for it to hold up for long-term projects. We'll have to see. But this is just so unique. I didn't even know you can make yarn from banana fiber, so I'm really excited to try it out. I wonder, like, with these bits, if it's hard to work with, or if it's easy to work with. Maybe it depends on the type of crochet hook you use. So I have a couple projects in mind for this yarn. I'm gonna pop up 2 pictures here. One is a belt and the other is a headband. So I think with this type of yarn, it just gives such a cute boho look, at least with this colorway. And I think it would make a really cute like head wrap or bandana or even a crochet belt. The next projects I have in mind, I'm gonna pop up 2 pictures again. One is a shawl that I found in the reviews, and then the other is a wrap cover up. And I thought they were pretty similar, especially with the open stitches. I think it would really showcase this unique yarn. And the last project I have in mind for this fiber is this vest. I really like it. I think it could be like a little cute crop vest, could be really nice with this yarn, and it could be a statement piece. So we'll see how the yarn works up with our gauge swatches, and we can see like what project I think would fit best. For the banana fiber gauge swatch, I decided to do a Tunisian simple stitch, and I have the flash on here so that you can really see how vibrant and shiny these fibers are. Without flash, it really wasn't capturing it. It just looked dark and muddy, but there are so many details to this yarn and I had to show you. The halo-like fibers do make it a tiny bit difficult to work with, but if you've worked with mohair yarn before, it shouldn't be a problem. So this is the final gauge swatch without flash. You can tell the colors do get a little muddy, but the sun was going down. And this is the gauge swatch with flash. You can really see the reflective fibers here. And so I just wanted to show you the difference. I really love it with flash. Okay, we're definitely getting into weirder yarn territory, but I love it. Next up, we have a jelly yarn. Look at this. Oh, it's so shiny with the light. I am obsessed with this. There's definitely a lot of squish to it, which I wasn't expecting. And this is the color Blue Taffy. I got the fine yarn. Let me give you a little look at that here. So it's pretty fine, but I thought it would be a lot easier to work with the smaller yarn. They come in 2 different sizes, but I got the fine size. And it just looks edible. I just want to like chew on it, but it even has like a little note, yarn is not edible. So do not give that a try. I just double checked. So this is the fine sport weight yarn, but it also does come in a bulky weight. For the fine yarn, you get 85 yards, and with bulky yarn, you get 65 yards. This only cost me $7.99, and then I paid for shipping because I wasn't gonna get to the free shipping with a ton of jelly yarn. I didn't need it. What I really love about this yarn is it's almost translucent, but they do have a few opaque colors on their site, which I'll link below in the description. I'm really curious to see if it has any stretch, like when you're crocheting with it, or if it really just sticks to the size it is. They also were so nice and provided a jelly yarn salve. And I think this is gonna be really helpful. It's made of coconut oil, beeswax, and lavender essential oil. So you put this on your crochet hook to make it easier to crochet with. It says for best results, you should knit or crochet on metal needles, which I did not know. I was gonna try with plastic needles. And then to help the stitches glide, apply a tiny dab of the salve, or you can also use hand lotion along the hook or the stitches on the needle. I'm curious to see like if the salve will take away from the shine, because like sometimes, you know, like when you get lotion on something and then it doesn't like look as shiny, or like it just changes the look. So I'm curious to see if it will do that to this yarn or the project. So the first project that comes to mind with this yarn, I'll pop it up here, is those 90s jelly chokers. So this is the picture I had in mind. And then this is something that I found on someone's blog where they crocheted little beads onto it. Especially with this fine weight, you could for sure add a little bead to that super easy. You might need like a tie or like a clasp to make the choker, because I don't think it'll like stretch over your head if you're looking for the choker look, but it could be used for any type of jewelry, I think. The next idea I had in mind was a little wristlet. I thought it would be cute to add like a little keychain clasp to it and add your wristlet so that you can like have your keys with your little wristlet on it. And I picked this one with the jasmine stitch because I think it would be highlighted really well by this yarn. I think an intricate stitch would really show off this yarn. This last project I found for jelly yarn is really, really cool. It's for my amigurumi lovers out there, and it's a crochet jellyfish. What more perfect yarn for a jellyfish besides jelly yarn? They have so many cool colors, and some of them are even blacklight reflective or reactive. And then I saw the dark version of this, and it glows in the dark or like glows under black light. So I thought this was really cool, especially if you're like looking to make something besides garments or accessories. This could be a really cool yarn to incorporate to art yarn projects or amigurumi. So give it a try. Working with the jelly yarn was surprisingly difficult. I did not expect it to have so much stretch, and the knots would not hold in place. I didn't even touch the salve. I thought I was gonna have a problem with it not moving at all, but it was moving all over the place. I started off by trying to make Solomon knots, and that's what I had in mind for a choker, but it was not working at all. I really had to hold the yarn, stretch it out to even show you this swatch. I then switched to doing single crochets just to see if the yarn would hold any better, and surprisingly it did, but I think I need a little more experience with this yarn before doing a whole project with it. I can't imagine trying to attempt that jellyfish now looking back, but it is a really nice yarn. It just takes some practice. I found the yarn kept curling back on itself, and so I was thinking of ways I could block it. If anybody has any tips for blocking vinyl yarn, let me know. The last yarn, if you can even consider this yarn, on our list, and the most unique yarn you have to try, is this chain yarn. I mean, we're gonna use it as yarn. So I purchased this chain for jewelry making off of Amazon, and it has 33 feet of yarn, and it was $7. Oh my cat wants to eat the plastic it came in. So for a big project, you're gonna need a lot of this yarn. She really likes it. So this chain is 2 millimeters. I don't know if that's referring to like the size of the links in the chain, because I don't make jewelry. And I'm just gonna be using this for crochet purposes, but it looks really nice. Like, it's catching the light really nice, and I think it could make some really fun projects. This one that I bought, I'll put the link down below. It also came with some lobster clasps and then some like jump rings. So if you're making a piece that's gonna be fitted, you'll probably wanna add some of these so you can clip it on and keep that fitted look. So the first project I have in mind for this chain yarn is a open mesh top. I think it could be a really cool layering piece over a bralette, and if you use Solomon knots, I think this chain can go a long way for one of your projects. The next project I have in mind is skull caps. Have been all the rage this summer. I've been seeing them everywhere. A lot of YouTube creators and pattern designers are making tutorials and patterns for these mesh skull caps, and I thought in this chain material it could be a really cool headpiece. It's like chainmail headwear. And it's something I think I would wear to a festival. It would catch the light. Your head would be like a little disco ball. So I think I might make that for my project with this chain. I found this really cool project idea, which I'll pop here. And it's for micro crocheters. So obviously it wouldn't work with this chain. You would need a chain with bigger holes, so bigger sized rings in the chain. And then you can micro crochet through those chains, and I think it could make a really cool bracelet piece if you use yarn or whatever material you want to use, and then had the metal chain in the middle. I was almost done researching for this video, and I came across this top, and I love how they incorporated the chain into a crochet top. You could use that same idea from the last project I mentioned, where you crochet through the chains on the chain material, obviously a bigger chain too, but I think it could make really cool holes and like mixed media fashion tops. So I will be trying something like this in the future, but I need to get larger chains, or like chain with larger holes first. Working with the chain yarn at first was surprisingly smooth. It's definitely rough on your fingers where you're holding the yarn. But then as I started on the second row or going into the foundation chain, It was really tough to see the stitches. The stitches slide around, so some get bigger. They really don't hold their shape at all. The stitches don't hold their shape at all. I was going for an open mesh look, so I was doing double crochet mesh, so chain one, double crochet, chain one, double crochet, and I do not think it turned out how I expected, and I probably won't be doing a project with this in the future. If you have the courage to work with chain yarn and complete a project, I applaud you. This is the final gauge swatch of the chain yarn. I only had the patience to do one row. It was really rough on my fingers, and I don't know if I'll be doing any projects in the future with this yarn, but it was really fun to give it a try, and I think pieces created with chain yarn look really nice. So I have one more bonus yarn for you. I know I had 6 in mind, but a 7th came to mind and I had to share. So the last yarn you have to try is your own hand spun yarn. This is my very first one, and I haven't even wound it into a ball yet or applied it, but I needed to have it as a bonus because spinning your own yarn is going to be the most unique yarn because you will be the only one that has it, and you can make so many different colors, so many different fibers. So if you haven't, I definitely want to encourage you to try spinning your own yarn, and you can make it truly unique and special and perfect for whatever project you have planned. All right, that's a wrap on this video. If you made it to the end, let me know which yarns you're excited to try or which one you like the best. I got some caked up already, and they look really nice. I'm excited to use them for a project. This is the banana one. And yeah, let me know if you like this video, and I will catch you next time.